Hi, I'm Dr. Shumik Kotecha from the Kotecha GPS Club, and in one of our marketing shorts video, I'm here with Natalia Decius from Vitamin D Marketing and Design. Thank you again. Today, our topic is video marketing, which, has become very much more prominent recently over time. More and more people are using it. So I still think I'm going to ask you some questions about it. First is I'm going to say, do you think it's being utilized to its most by dentists? I'm not talking about generally, but purely for dental point of view.
I still find that it's fairly new. I see more and more dentists utilizing it. I think prior to this pandemic, I think the one thing that was being done quite often was basic practice introduction videos. So this would be a video that would be to introduce your practice to anyone that's maybe coming to your website for the first time. And instead of having to go through all the pages, they can watch a quick short introduction video to get a feel for the office, for people that work there, and for the whole culture and vibe. And it's also a great tool to then put out on social media, and it's an extension of your practice. So that was something that started becoming more popular, because I've noticed that because I started doing more and more of them, and I started seeing a desire to do them more so. So it's definitely, demand for them is certainly growing, and people are seeing value in it for sure.
So things that I think I would do video marketing for would be a virtual tour of the office. It's a neat way to kind of show what your office is like. Because for some people that matters if they want to see a certain style of office, which they don't often always get from photos. Introducing new technology works great. Just talking about practice philosophy. I think it helps dentists market I think it helps people identify with you, because let's be honest, dentistry is as much about communication as it is about actually picking up a handpiece, being able to tell or explain to people what condition they have, what their options are, and how to make it better. You need to be able to communicate that. You can't just say, you need this, because that area of dentistry is gone. Patients are asking for information. They want to be involved in not only the diagnostic process, but also the treatment planning process of it. Everything's co-diagnosed. So you have to be able to communicate as a dentist as it is, but how do people know that you can communicate? So I think that is where it is really, really important because everyone has their own biases on whether they think that person will be able to communicate or not by a photo. Because, they say photos tell 1,000 words, but they don't tell you everything. So from there, that's what I would think. So do you agree with that thing, or?
Yeah, for sure. And I think like some of the things that you mentioned, it's also an opportunity for you to build trust and build credibility amongst people that you already have in your practice, and maybe people that you're looking to attract to your practice. So you're positioning yourself as an expert in a specific area without saying that you're an expert, but you're building that reputation around yourself. I will say specifically, if you're a big techie and you've invested a lot of money into technology to make patient outcomes better, to make your life easier, and to kind of stay on top of what's going on in the dental world, video marketing is an absolute must. Because like for instance, we've done a video for you for the Prime Scan digital scanner. To general public, if you tell me, if I'm not in a dental field and you tell me that you have this digital scanner that takes digital impressions, it doesn't really tell me much. But if I've ever had manual impressions done, and now I learn about the fact that there's a digital way of doing it and how much easier it is, how it's better for the environment, and if you kind of do a quick, even 30-second video showcasing how the experience is, I think that alone will have that much more of an impact than reading a blog article on it or just seeing a picture of the machine itself. Because you're asking a lot of somebody just to actually read the post description. Most people are not going to do it because they don't have time for it.
You know,
So,
I've read, and I don't have the stats on this, that most people don't watch videos more than 15 minutes, and most people don't watch more than 3 minutes. So
correct.
if you're going to do a blog, they're not going to read about it. If you have a 2-minute video that tells them what they see, I think it's way more effective.
Yeah, and the other example I wanted to also talk about briefly, for instance, like a lot of offices, especially offices that are doing a lot of restorative cases or like just a lot of cosmetic work where they have dramatic, before and after results, or, even like Invisalign, or trying to grow exposure around that. Anytime you can promote that as a patient success story versus just before and after, it's quite powerful. Like even if you ever have a patient willing to do a testimonial, it could be like literally 30-second testimonial about their experience of how easy it was for them to receive the treatment and what a difference it has made on their life. Those stories resonate with people. They're authentic. People can connect to them because I can actually see the person. I can see how they felt about it. I'm not just looking at the before and after. And sometimes that's also good because you can see the dramatic results. But hearing the story around it, that's what will get me to buy into whatever you're trying to sell.
Yep. And I've seen, I think a video testimonial is very effective. Now, getting people to do it is a different thing.
Yeah, it's not as easy. Yep.
Not everybody wants to be on camera.
Yep.
So let's talk about, are there any downsides of video marketing? Like, did you see, are there any things you got to look out for? Like, there things that you have to be careful of? I
will just say, make sure you do them well and you get them done professionally so it doesn't look, like your 10-year-old put them together. If you schedule them well, where maybe perhaps you shoot a series of videos in one day, even if you're working with a third party, you can get pretty good value for doing them. And, you don't have to worry about all the editing that goes into having the video done. So I would certainly invest money to work with somebody to do it. But as long as you handle them professionally and you, keep the content clean, I don't really see any downfall from it. Like it just, as long as it's done well and it promotes the right message, I don't see any dangers from it.
And the one question a lot of people are going to ask, and you kind of said you bring someone in professionally, are smartphones, i.e. iPhone, Google phone, Android phones, are they good enough to record these days? Because, you see their ads saying 4K video, or do you need either special equipment on top of those, or is it just easier to hire somebody?
So shooting videos on your phone are actually great. I'm all for it, as long as they're done for specific reasons. So for instance, right now around this whole pandemic, shooting short videos demonstrating or maybe doing a little follow-ups with your patients or sharing messages about some of the updates that you're doing, they're fantastic. Especially right now, you can't really have me with my video crew in your office right now anyways because of the social distance. Well, maybe you could with masks, but anyways, there's people that might feel weird about it right now. So doing them on your phone is great. You don't have as many editing options as you do for somebody that does it professionally. But if you shoot something with the phone, you can then send it off to somebody that has the editing options where they can kind of customize it with your logo, with some headings on it, kind of make it a little bit, add an intro and end. So it depends on the application. But phones are great, and they shoot great videos.
Well, yeah, and the only thing I would tell someone is there's all these, just know your lighting, test the video first. Because, not everyone thinks, watch it before you put it out there, make sure someone edits it. Being someone who just started doing more videos recently, is the people on TV make it look pretty easy. It's not as easy as they make it look. if you ever, I mean, Natalia, you know this, we decided to do one for our office. And do you remember the first scene where I just burst out laughing before anyone even heard? And I didn't get one word out of my mouth, and I just burst out laughing.
Yeah.
Because I had a message that I was going to say, and I just went blank. So
Yeah.
it isn't as easy as you think. These people on TV make it look really, really easy. So I would say that, you know, in conclusion, I'd say video marketing is definitely the easiest way for you to get your message out there and probably get as many people engaged in it, because, you know, I know this is cliche, but video killed the radio star back in the music back in the day. I think it's almost the same. I think that
Mm-hmm.
people they want a visual cue with it or something in that, then, and make them short. They don't have to be long, and, you know, practice. You know, I have a good colleague who started doing them, and she said to me earlier she hated them. They were really stressful for her. Them when she started, she'd have to have cue cards, and it was very, and, you know, she sent them to me, and, you know, I was not an expert by any means, and she'd ask me my opinion, and I'd be like, well, they look fine. It's just I think they look rehearsed, and mine may look rehearsed too. People may say the same thing about me. I'm not a video expert. I'm a dentist, so. But event now that she's, you know, she's about a year into it, and she teaches on certain things. Now I watch her videos, and she's so much more confident, and I would never even know that that was the same person that I saw a year ago on these videos, because she just got comfortable. It's like anything else. You got to learn to walk before you can run, right? So
Yeah, and anytime you do something a couple of times, each time you do it, the better you get at it. And I think sometimes it's just getting over that initial kind of shyness, or it's like, oh, this is not really in my nature. But after you've done it a few times, it becomes easier and easier.
I agree.
So just give it a go. I mean, what's the worst case thing that can happen? If you don't like it, you just delete it. You don't do it, you know.
That's why I lose. Yeah. So practice on your iPhone, and I mean, you know, and the thing is, I think demographically, the younger dentists are going to be much more confident on this, because they're already used to taking videos of everything they do. I mean, you know,
Yes.
I have children, and they have friends who are in their tweens, and they're already like, they'll videotape their dinner. They'll videotape them. You know, they videotape them. They watch other people. They watch videos of other people doing stuff, which I find baffling, but it is what it is. So
Each his own. Yeah.
the conclusion is, try it out. If it can make it work, great. It's easy. It's easier content, I think, than having to edit photos and pictures and get a message out. It's not easier for the people who have to edit it, but usually you've hired somebody else to do that. So I'd like to say thank you again. This is our short video on video marketing. If you need any information, you can reach out to Natalia. Her contact information will be at the end of this. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Natalia.
Thank you.